Celebrated a very special man in the rural sector, cattle stud breeder Bruce Mackenzie from the Maungahina stud in the Wairarapa, with a companion Order of Merit, a very, very special acknowledgement of his services to the cattle industry. And he joins me now. Good evening, sir. We can't say sir exactly, it wasn't that title, but close.
Maybe another 20 years.
Oh, and hey, what a special year, though, Bruce, for you to receive such an honour. 75 years, is it, of breeding or of the sale? One of the oldest Hereford stud in New Zealand, I believe.
It's founded in 1907, so we're 113 years old. And they're very special this year to be our 75th sale coming up. And I've been to 74 of them, even though I wasn't a bassinet for probably a couple of them. And one of them I missed because I was in England. So 74 is a pretty good shot.
It is. So for our viewers who aren't familiar with the Maungahina stud, would you be able to explain it's not just Herefords?
No, we've been in the Herefords for that number of years, but we had Charolais. I started the red Charolais, breeding from the red tractor gene, and I've bred those for 25 years. And more recently, we've brought in the Speckle Park breed from Canada, which have been very successful.
5 generations, Bruce. You must be extremely proud of both your father and, of course, the next generation at Maungahina.
I'm extremely proud of the fact that they are interested in carrying on what we've set up. And we have the 6th generation, Molly, who's absolutely looking forward to the next move as well. So all I want to do is be able to leave a good standard of stock for her to carry on with.
Now, in all of your years, Bruce, you would have seen both a lot of changes to both farming, but also, of course, breeding cattle. What are some of those noticeable changes?
Well, in the early days, the cattle were too small in my eyes, and we needed to improve the frame and structure of them. And so by bringing in imported cattle, which I did, I imported 12 bulls, live bulls, into New Zealand in my time, 6 from England originally, and then to improve the frame, because let's face it, we're paid by weight, so we wanted to increase the frame and length of the cattle, so I brought in 5 or 6 bulls from Canada, and that was very successful. And we've bred back to our own bloodlines, and we're going exceptionally well with them at the moment.
Actually, that's a point I'd like to ask you about the difference between those British genetics and, of course, the Canadian genetics, Bruce. They're predominantly in a lot of feedlots and finishing. How do you balance those genetics with our New Zealand conditions?
Well, Hereford's a pretty resilient breed, and they've proved in cold countries and hot countries that they can handle the conditions. And we've found that we've had no problem with that. By bringing these cattle in, they can handle heat and cold.
I'm very interested in one day being the proud owner of a Speckled Park rug because they're so beautiful. But there's more to a Speckled Park than just how lovely it looks on the floor.
Yes, they're a special breed. I first saw them in Canada when I was buying the Herefords and followed them for 4 or 5 years over there. And when you see a breed that can win 4 and 5 consecutive years of fat stock competitions in Calgary, one had to have a look at them. And so that's when I said to my son, you go over to Canada and find the very best genetics you can find in this breed. And that's exactly what he did. And the first year we put in 150 embryos, and we've carried on from there. We went in with Wairarapa, my station, a big place here in the Wairarapa, the Matthews family, so that we could have a big number of embryos put in so that we could have a strong culling rate. And with a new breed, you need to be able to cull heavily. Otherwise, you can't get anywhere. And so we did that. And then after 3 or 4 years, we split up and took our own stock, and it's gone from there. And at the moment, we have 7 bulls in the AI station, which we're supplying up to 40,000 straws of semen for the dairy industry, for LIC. And they're going exceptionally well in that dairy section because Kiwi cows carry a marbling gene. And when you put the Speckle Park over the Kiwi cows, you increase this chance of marbling and good meat. And so they're going exceptionally well in the dairy industry.
Fantastic. Bit of hybrid vigour there, Bruce. Now, Bruce,
Absolutely.
something you probably haven't seen in all your years is something like COVID-19. It's had a dramatic effect on the bull sales season and some changes to what's normally the date for you. But you've still stuck to it because, of course, it's at 75 years since your first on-farm sale.
Yes, well, we shifted it for that reason. And the droughts in the Hawke's Bay and North Auckland, we decided that the best thing we could try and hope for, that we could have a crowd at our sale and have a normal sale. So we shifted the date back to the 2nd of July and hoping that that will be successful.
First established in 1907, Maungahina stud in the Wairarapa, and we're speaking to Bruce Mackenzie because, of course, that companion of Order of Merit granted to, I want to say Sir Bruce, not just you there. It is what a wonderful accolade to all of your services to the cattle industry, Bruce. On behalf of everybody watching and listening to Serious Country, can I just say congratulations tonight, and I hope you have a nice bubbly.
Thank you very much. We're going to have a party on Saturday and kick our heels up.
Wonderful. That's Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Bruce Mackenzie there out of Wairarapa from the very well-known Maungahina stud, both Hereford, of course, that they're renowned for, but Charolais and Speckled Park.
This is Sarah's Country.